John Gruden, by the way, sitting down with Howie Long. Sitting down with Howie Long, by the way, on the Sunday NFL show. Howie Long, John Gruden, sit down, big interview. Very excited for that. All right, he's going to be all worked up. He's going to be freaking out because the committee came out last night with their first rankings, and it was all sorts of SEC love. Let's bring him in, the voice of college football, Joel Klatt. Bring him on, folks. He's all worked up.
What's up?
You know, my earpiece here. Okay, what did they get right? What did the committee get right?
I think for the most part, they got probably the first 6 correct, kind of. I mean, give or take a spot or two.
Okay.
But from that point on, it was just
come on.
I mean, I've got the data to back it. This is not just an opinion. This is data-driven analysis.
Okay,
all right?
I'm not into
capital J.
You know this show, not interested in opinions. We only like research and.
You ready for research?
Okay.
All right.
So they got the Alabama thing right. Can you admit
Sure.
that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what did they get wrong?
Well, the ACC as a whole was vastly overrated by this committee. And when I say vastly, I don't mean by a couple of spots here and there.
Yeah.
I mean like fraudulently. Overrated. Okay, you ready?
Fraudulently is like bring in the Senate. Let's slow down on fraudulently.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Are you ready? Every Power 5 league was essentially within the margin of error when you compare it to the FPI or the Sagarin ratings. Okay, the teams were basically within 2 or 3 spots of where those computer models, which have thousands of variations and inputs, would have the teams, except for one.
What?
The ACC. Did you know that the ACC, if you just take Clemson and you say they're the number 2 team in the country, that's fine. But then you take the 4 teams that were ranked from 19 to 25. So you've got the North Carolina States and Boston College and Virginia and Syracuse. You take those 4. On average, not total, Colin, on average, those 4 teams were ranked 16 3/4 spots higher than the FPI, and 16 spots on average higher than the Sagarin ratings.
Why would you do that? Why would you even want to do that?
Because I think they're holding a very particular conference down. There was only one conference that was negative on that, the Big Ten. The Big Ten got hosed, namely Michigan. Michigan got their resume pulled right from under their feet. I mean, right from under their feet. And you know what? I don't think people see it yet. Think about it, though. These 4 teams that were included by the committee out of the ACC, and I think it's because Frank Beamer's on the committee.
Oh, come on.
It's always a former coach that's going to have the loudest and most influential voice. We saw it a few years ago with Barry Alvarez when the Big Ten was a little overrated in the committee rankings versus some of the other rating systems. Now, the ACC, I'm talking 16 spots on average, Colin, on average.
Okay.
By the way, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Purdue, Northwestern,
Michigan State's quarterback can't throw a ball from me to joy.
And Syracuse can?
Wisconsin's
Virginia.
lost to BYU.
Listen, all 4 of those teams that I just mentioned out of the Big Ten, all 4 of them are rated higher in those 2 computer models than any of those ACC teams.
By the way,
this ACC deal is a bad look. It's a bad look.
Computers make a lot of mistakes. Ask the Dodgers. How'd that analytics go?
Okay, so
I don't buy I watch the games.
I'd rather have 10,000 variables and inputs rather than 13 with one very influential rogue voting for one particular conference. So on average, the Power 5 leagues, there's only one league that on average the teams that are ranked are lower than those computers. That's the Big Ten. On average, they're 3 1/4 spots lower.
Okay, so the committee thinks the Big Ten isn't as good.
Yeah, but that's not even considering the teams that they didn't even rank. You're telling me that you don't think Michigan State?
Oh, they're garbage.
Wisconsin could beat Syracuse or Virginia?
I don't know.
I think Syracuse. Purdue beat Boston College?
I saw Syracuse give Clemson fits. I've seen Syracuse beat Clemson 2 times. Wisconsin, I watched them. If I gave their quarterback a football set, hit the camera, he'd sail it over that skeleton's head.
You would take Syracuse over Michigan State.
I think Syracuse is underrated. By the way, USC may hire a new coach. Get the Syracuse guy. He's great. Syracuse is underrated.
They are not underrated. They're vastly overrated.
How come they
give, on average, 16 3/4
How come
spots?
they give Clemson a nightmare every year? Nobody plays Clemson like Syracuse. I watch Wisconsin.
First of all, Clemson's schedule is not great. Second of all, this is a team that right now is playing some of the best football in the country, but they always struggle with the same teams. That's because that's what league play is all about.
I just watched Purdue run through Ohio State
and
like
I
a
also
hot
saw
knife
Purdue
through
beat up
butter.
on Boston College, who's ranked fraudulently by this committee.
We have the Big Ten at this network. I should suck up to them. Ohio State's broken as a program.
That's fine. They're a one-loss team. You can't argue with the data. You are arguing against facts, and facts don't care about your feelings.
Well, I'll tell you, when I look at this thing right here, Alabama, Clemson, LSU, Notre Dame, Michigan, Georgia, Oklahoma, that's your top 7. I don't think anybody's getting hosed there.
That's what I just said.
Michigan looks pretty good.
Do you want to play back the tape? I came off and what did I say? The first 6 or 7 teams? Yeah, they got those right. I think Michigan is having their resume pulled out from under their feet.
They're 5th.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where they're at right now. It matters what happens at the end of the season. If their resume keeps getting folded on each other by this committee and the ACC's propped up, guess what? A one-loss Michigan might not make it in.
Oh, yeah, if Michigan runs the table, they're not getting in. Of course
not if
they
their
are.
resume keeps getting thrown out of whack. Like you don't think that that's fraudulent? 16 3/4 spots on average. I didn't say total.
Again, you're
Colin. I said on average.
You're bringing out the slide ruler. I'm telling you right now, Michigan at 5, that feels fair to me. If my son goes trick-or-treating tonight and they give out 4 prizes for best costume and he gets 5th, we're not crying when we get home.
Why do you keep arguing about the top? I told you the top 7 are fine. All I'm saying is watch out for this committee because right now they're taking a you-know-what on the resume for the Michigan Wolverines.
What's their biggest win?
Teams,
What's their biggest win?
Michigan?
Yeah.
Wisconsin and Michigan State. All of a sudden aren't ranked, even though that every computer model and every person that I talk to would absolutely say they would beat your darling Syracuse team, and in particular Virginia.
Every year I watch Syracuse play one game, Clemson. They go toe-to-toe with them every year.
So you just admitted you watched Syracuse play one time, and you want them ranked based on that one?
Hey, Cindy Crawford walks by me once a year. I can tell she's beautiful.
So why isn't Texas A&M ranked ahead of Virginia? Well, I saw them one time, Colin. I saw them one time, and I got a book.
All right. How about this one? Let's shift gears to this.
You better shift gears.
Lincoln Riley to the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, that's interesting, right?
Okay.
Listen, that would be my first call. Why wouldn't it be your first call if you're Cleveland?
But why would I want to go if I'm Lincoln Riley?
I don't disagree with that at all.
I can win 10 games.
I think you can probably make more money and have more longevity in college football if you're Lincoln Riley than you can in the NFL.
By far.
He's making, $4 3/4 million right now. That's going to go up over the course of his contract. If he stays there for 10 or 15 years, you can make an argument that he's going to make anywhere between, call it $55 and $75 million, probably north of that. And the way that he's recruiting, the way that he coaches, that program in particular, there's no reason to think that he couldn't be there for 10 or 15 years. Now, here would be the argument for why you would go if you're Lincoln Riley. And Oklahoma fans are screaming at their whatever in their cars or watching right now on FS1. It won't hurt him. You can go and fail and still get a blue chip job. Nick Saban did it. Chip Kelly did it. So it doesn't matter if he has success at the NFL level at all. So he can go, scratch that itch. If it doesn't work out 1-2 years, guess what he gets to do?
Yeah, but
come right back to a blue chip job. Now, I'm not saying that you would want to, but that's an argument on that side of the table.
But when I hear Lincoln Riley talk, he sounds like Oklahoma.
Sure.
He feels like Oklahoma. I think Lincoln Riley's
his offense feels.
I think
like
he's got a perfect. Everybody's trying to get happier than happy.
Who would you want with Cleveland?
Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers and him, let's just be honest about it. Look at the body language. It's terrible. You ever gone to a party with your wife and you see a couple and you can see their body language is bad and they get a divorce like an hour later? That's McCarthy and Rodgers. I can look at their body language and I'm like, they don't like each other. I can tell. That's a divorce.
That's sound marriage advice. Just from the other side of the room, just watch the couple at a Halloween
You can tell when you go to a party.
You're probably
Joey,
right.
have you ever gone to a party and you can tell they're not touching, they're not close.
You can tell more when it's at a kid's birthday. Because their guard is, you go to an adult party and everyone their guard is up. They're trying to put together that facade. The kid's birthday. Gloves are off. You can see fights all over the place. It's great.
Terrible.
It's great stuff.
All right, so you're pro-Michigan. I think Michigan has been fairly treated. And I think that's good. That's our position today.
Colin,
you think somebody's getting
making
hosed
this into something that it's not. I told you the top 7 were properly ranked. All I'm saying is watch out if you're a Michigan fan because the resume is being pulled out from under your feet.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Which the data backs that up.
Yeah, Wisconsin. Try beating BYU at home. Michigan State, get a quarterback that can throw a football 8 feet.
I don't disagree with that. By the way, the ACC as a conference, they're 3-9 against other Power 5 leagues and Notre Dame. That's the worst of any conference.
Yeah, that's because Notre Dame is good and they often play SEC.
So now you're just giving a pass to a whole conference being 3-9?
No, I'm saying the ACC's record out of conference isn't good because, Notre Dame, they play.
So why in the world would they just get, fraudulently thrown in the back end of the rankings?
The Pac-12.
I don't disagree with that.
If UCLA played in my backyard, I'd close the blinds.
You need to tell me why Syracuse, Boston College, North Carolina State, and Virginia should be ranked. You can't come up with an argument. Oh, I saw Syracuse one time.
You don't need to see stuff a bunch of times to know what's good.
Yes, you do.
How long did it take to fall in love with your wife? Not very long. This idea that you got to go on 70 dates to know what's good. You fell in love in 10 minutes.
You're incorrigible. Yeah, but my wife is like Alabama. It's just like, boom, number one.
There you go.
Bam.
Joel Klatt.
How many times do I have to see a 25th ranked team? All season.